Good evening. It is Tuesday, May 31st, and welcome to the Positional Sports Talk Show. Post live streaming on Facebook Live, Twitch, and our Positional Sports Talk Show YouTube channel. We are a sports talk show made for the fans, from the perspective of fans, presented by lifelong sports fans. We will provide our opinions and positions on the hottest topics in sports this evening. My name is Big Reg, and I'm joined by three of my partners in crime this evening. We got my brother J3 in the house. What's going on, J3? How you feeling this evening?
Good evening, Big Reg. Ed, Sense, what's happening? Feeling great.
J3, what's up?
J3, what's up?
Glad to be back.
Sense is in the building. What's going on, partner? How you feeling today?
Feeling good, feeling great. What's going on, Big Reg? What's up, J3? What's up, Ed? Ready to talk some sports with y'all. Let's get it.
Good to see you, Sense.
And my brother Ed, looking, you can see he got a little rest, fan. My eyes are bright this week.
Yeah, I got a little rest and too much food. I got to cut this out and consult with y'all how to combat this. What's up, gentlemen? How y'all doing? Big Reg, J3 Sense, what's up?
What's
Yes,
up? What's
indeed.
up? What's
All
up?
right, let's talk a little sports.
Let's do this sports thing. All right, we're going to give you a potpourri of quick hits. We're going to hit a few different topics. And then the rest of the show, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. We got to talk about the finals. And, of course, our final post of the evening. So, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. So, please sit back, relax, enjoy posts on the Positional Sports Talk Show channel. Fellas, something crazy happened this past weekend that I'm sure the average sports fan never even paid any attention or even noticed. This weekend, and we have to say congrats to the University of North Carolina Lady Tar Heels and the University of Maryland Terps men's and teams for winning the NCAA lacrosse championships. Not only did both of those teams win their respective lacrosse championships, both went undefeated this season.
Wow.
Congrats.
Wow. That's amazing. That is truly amazing. And I say that because I can remember when I lived in Baltimore almost 20 years ago. That was probably the first time I've even heard of lacrosse.
Right.
It was like,
Yeah.
what is this? And for the University of Maryland to win that championship, that's awesome.
And it's crazy. I used to work for a gentleman named Frank Urso, who's a lacrosse Hall of Famer.
Wow.
He played on the University of Maryland team that won the 1977 national championship. This is their first championship since 77.
Wow.
Cool.
I find that fascinating that Maryland, I really find that, I would have lost money on that. I find that. No, seriously, I mean, it's like Maryland and lacrosse is like synonymous. It's like they go hand in hand. I mean, it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
We all know it's huge in this state. So, congrats to the men, the male Terps.
Definitely. I mean, I've come to have an appreciation for lacrosse now. It's an intense sport and definitely fun to watch. So shout out to Maryland. Hopefully we can get that momentum going with the other sports on that campus. Good.
And the women were in the semifinals. So Maryland had a heck of a year.
Nice,
All right, let's switch it up. Next topic, little NFL news. Your boy Aaron Donald playing mind games out there. First of all, right before the Super Bowl, he dropped, I may retire after this game. Okay. And then being all yoked up in the parade, we're going to run it back.
Run it back.
Well, the Rams haven't gave him the money he looking for, so they ain't talking about maybe I just retire. It's a business. If I don't get what I want, I can just walk away. I only want to pay 8 years anyway. So, did anybody really think he gonna walk away?
No, and I don't understand because he's going to get what he wants. Like there's no defensive player in the NFL that has had a more of an impact, on his team and the position as a whole than Aaron Donald in the last 8 years. I would say at least, maybe 8. At least since he's been in the league. And that includes J.J. Watt before he started getting, ravished with injuries. So I don't understand he's going to get what he wants. I mean, no need to play through the media. I mean, or these stunts. He's not retiring.
I mean,
You sure
know how
about
this
that?
whole thing goes.
You sure about
He's
that?
not.
I mean,
Not
what else is there for him to play for?
That's true. That's true. But I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, he might have the Tom Brady mindset. The favorite, most favorite championship is the next one. So he might be inspired to go on and running back to win it. But it's just all like it's lip service at this point.
One thing I will give him though, playing in those trenches where he plays, he not a DN, he not an outside linebacker that run around people. He a defensive tackle. He in the middle of the line. He getting double and triple teamed almost every play of the game and getting hit in all different types of crazy ways. So it wouldn't be crazy. I think the sticking point is going to be, I don't think the Rams want to extend his contract because he still has 2 more years on his contract that he signed, which made him the highest paid defensive player when he signed it, and the first $20 million a year defensive player. But now you've got, some people, one out of Pittsburgh that's getting almost $28 million a year. You're like, hey.
Mm-hmm. So if they don't re-sign him, then what? Is he going to stay there, or is he going to walk away, or is he just going to retire?
Yeah, they're not going to let him leave. So his options are work out a number that they both can agree with, or retire.
Yeah. They'll capitulate. They'll capitulate. Like give him a golden parachute or something.
Yeah.
And Rams are a unique organization where their GM and coach don't care about draft picks. So a team can say, "I'll give you 2 number ones," and they'll be like, "We don't care about number 1 draft picks. We want players."
Exactly.
So we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
He's definitely sitting in the driver's seat. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure.
On a good news for a player, Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy had his charges dismissed for his misdemeanor domestic violence case. I mean, the people stated him and his significant other got into an argument about something. Supposedly, she took one of his phones, so it must have been the other phone. So he took her purse and some other documents and locked them up in his car in his garage that she doesn't have access to. And they was calling that domestic. He's like, ain't nobody do anything to anybody. So luckily that's out of the case. And hopefully the NFL won't do anything because, anytime they hear domestic violence, not being in Arizona. No, it was in Denver. Being in Denver, because it was a situation where they were partners, it automatically turned into domestic violence when there was no violence.
Gotta make a sample out of somebody.
Yeah. In a sad case, man, newly signed Arizona Cardinals cornerback Jeff Gladney died Monday in an automobile accident at the age of 25. I mean, this dude, he got drafted last year and then had some issues about something that happened in college. He finally got that worked out I think it was March, where all those charges were dropped. The Cardinals signed him. 2 months later, dies in a car crash. And unfortunately, he wasn't the only occupant of his vehicle. There's been an unnamed female that was also in the car that died as well. And they say he was running at a very high rate of speed and ran and hit a car in front of him and lost control.
Yeah, not much to say about that.
Yeah.
It's just a sad situation. But when this news and let me preface this by saying I'm not trying to disrespect his memory or talk down, about a deceased too early young man. Forget about football, but it seems like I was discussing this last night when it first came over that I first heard of it, and it seems like trouble follows. Whether it just seems like sometimes you get stuck in a rut, and it seems like no matter what you do, how much you try to, be like on the up and up, it seems like sometimes trouble will follow you. And I never understood that. I just never understood how that happens. But it seems the case where, he was a number 1 draft pick of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
He had a pretty decent, up and down rookie year, but he was competing. Like you said, Big Reg, the stuff followed him from TCU. As far as, some domestic issues, he was cleared of all that, like you said. And then as soon as he gets cleared of that, he gets signed this. So, it's similar to like with Haskins, Haskins, was seemingly trying to get his life right. And it seems like, just trouble just followed him. And I always wonder, is that a coincidence or is it just, it just happens? I don't know.
So my opinion, Ed, I mean, I hear what you're saying, right? But you the older you get, the wiser you should get. And the choices that you make really follows you, And so for this individual to be in a vehicle going at a high speed rate, I mean, you already know what your options are. You either going to survive that crash or you actually going to pass away because of the ignorance of you going at an excessive speed. So, it's the same thing with Haskins. I mean, this dude was driving when he shouldn't have been and intoxicated and some other things. So, I mean, I don't know about that, Ed.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's
choices we make.
Yeah, I just think it speaks to a deeper point, like how not everyone is able to handle, the fame and the fortune that they so dream about, especially young athletes, because they just, it's like everyone has this James Dean type of mentality now to live fast and unfortunately dying young, and this is the case with this gentleman here, and it's really sad.
I mean, you work to get to that point to where you can enjoy your fruits of your labor. Why would you throw it away because of the fact that you want to do something irresponsible and speed? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
At that age, especially that age, pro athlete, there's a sense of invincibility.
Invincibility, yeah.
It's in a sense at that age for the majority of the people, not all, for the majority of people anyway. But you multiply that when you say young athlete millionaire.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. I see it every day. I'm just saying it just doesn't make any sense. You would think because you work so hard to get to where you want to be that
Right.
you would cherish those moments that you have, so that you can have longevity.
Yeah, it's a shame. All right, on a more upbeat note, the French Open is currently in its quarterfinal rounds. We got to give a shout out over there in the women's draw. Teenage sensation Coco Gauff beat fellow American Sloane Stephens today in straight sets to make her first career Grand Slam semifinal. 18 years old, doing it well. Not only did she make the semifinals in singles, but her new partner, Jessica Pegula, and her later on in the day won their quarterfinals match and made the semifinals in doubles as well. So Coco is doing her thing. She has an excellent chance of making the finals because she is going to take on unseeded Italian Martina Trevisan, who is making her first semifinals. This 28-year-old Italian hadn't had much success in the Grand Slam, so Coco might have a little more of an advantage being on a big stage longer. So interesting to see, but congratulations to Coco.
Yes, real quick. So the match before Coco played was it Sloane? What was his name? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sloane. Mm-hmm. Is it me, or did it seem like the umpire was picking on Coco as she was playing, trying to insinuate that she was receiving some coaching from her coach when she clearly told her multiple times she wasn't? Did you all see that? Did y'all pick that up?
I didn't pick that up.
I did not pick that up, but that's not new. That's the same Serena stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
you know that they come from the same coaching system.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's you know anything to try to say it's just not their talents.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hats off to Coco though, because you know this is she's what I
18.
believe 3 years removed from the incident that occurred in the third round of the U.S. Open when Naomi Osaka consoled her because she was just a baby at that point. But now 3 years later, she seems poised to do some great things. So you know we're big fans of Coco on this show. So let's do this.
Absolutely.
and she has not lost a set yet in the tournament. So shout out. Now her doubles partner, Jessica Pegula, and if y'all don't know, I'm gonna give y'all a little info. She is the daughter of Bills and Sabres. That's the Buffalo Bills and Buffalo Sabres owners. She takes on number one Iga Swiatek tomorrow morning, early in the AM. I think they're going to be like 6:30, 7 o'clock Eastern time for a spot in the semis on the other side of the draw. So that's going to be a tough one for her. Jessica's been doing great. She went the other way, the non-Coco way. She went to college. I believe she's from Stanford or Cal. Stayed there 3 years before she decided that she was going to turn pro. Graduated from college. Had to grind, and now she's made herself way up until she's currently the second-ranked American female in the world and moving on up. So great job. But Swiatek, the new number one, is on the third longest win streak in women's tennis history. She's won 32 straight matches. So
wow,
that's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
that's impressive.
That's gonna be a tough one. On the men's side, Alexander Zverev defeated the teen phenom Carlos Alcaraz 4 sets today. I think the team just finally ran out of gas. He's been running through these big guns, including Nadal and Djokovic, and just finally caught up to him. But I mean, to make the quarterfinals, he just turned 19, I believe, and he came from nowhere last year. He was playing challenger matches to now he's made it all the way up to he's in the top 10 of the men's tour. So,
Oh yeah.
that is awesome. And literally just finished it. Rafael Nadal knocks off number one seed Novak Djokovic in 4 sets. So Nadal makes sure he's going to stay at the top of the all-time Grand Slams wins because he just eliminated the only person who could time. So
Yeah, but Raphael, go ahead, Sense.
No, I said Rafa is he put his foot down. I was like, nah, ain't happening. So yeah, salute to him. What was you gonna say?
It's kind of misleading though, because Raphael runs the French Open.
yeah.
I mean, him, Serena, they're kind of like, as far as French Open is concerned, they and before them, a blast from the past, Chrissy Everett, they just run. They run the French Open. It's that Clay.
Be on board. If you're going blast from the past, he was the first men's Mr. Clay. But yeah, I feel you.
I want to go to Paris and see. Well, I was in Paris, but I want to go. I want to go to I want to go to a match one day.
Small side note: one of our contributors, G, took a train over from London.
Oh,
and was at Roland Garros this weekend.
Oh man,
watched matches Saturday and Sunday. So
that's awesome. That's all right.
Yep.
Living life. My wife actually even saw on TV. So
that
she
is
was
awesome.
Excited. All right, let's talk about some boxing real quick.
Ooh, doggy.
Gervonta Tank Davis ended his Mayweather Promotions contract with a bang. I do mean
Literally.
literally.
Sixth round bang.
He caught fellow Mayweather Promotions fighter Rolando Romero with a left hook that Romero ran right into. And if it wasn't for the ropes holding this dude up, he'd have fell flat on his face.
Say night night. Yes,
Say night night.
Say night night.
With that saying, fellas, it's time.
Yes. Thank you.
Davis got to stop. But I got to give him his props. He sold out the Barclays Center.
Wow.
Over 18,500 people came in and packed that stadium to see Tank. He had that A-list celebrities all around.
Mm-hmm.
Which says he has drawing power, which means he can.
He's the second pay-per-view guy behind Canelo.
But here's the thing. And like Canelo, but here's the thing only with Tank though. Like you said, Big Reg, he has to go to that division is loaded. Or you got Ryan Garcia. He got Ryan Garcia. You got the your Ukrainian brother Lomachenko. You got the Kambosos. Is it Kambosos? George, what's his name?
Kambosos, who has 3 belts.
Devin
Haney, who has the other belt, and they fight this weekend.
So you gotta. So I hope Tank goes. He can
going up higher.
Well, he don't need to go any higher. He's only 5'5.5", and I don't think that weight would do him any good. But I just think that it's time to maybe step up some competition, because you really can't. He doesn't really need to now. I mean, he can really pick and choose who he fights, but at some point, people want to see Garcia. People want to see him fight Haney. People want to see him go after Lomachenko maybe. So I don't know. I don't know how he would fare, because I don't know.
Let him tell it. He ready to fight everybody. Just line them up. Let's go.
They all say that.
I mean, he's proven to sell out a fight. Actually, that'd be a feather in his cap. Like, especially if he's promoting himself, fighting them big name fighters.
So what would you do, Sense? Would you put yourself at risk and of losing, or would you say I'm all about competition? Well, I mean, that's the question.
Because competition matters. I mean, why would people constantly pay to see you fight like also Rans or no names? Like,
Mayweather
we want to see the. I mean, no, but he also fought Cotto's. He also fought Alvarez. He fought some.
I'm not taking nothing away from him. I'm just saying at a certain point, he started picking and choosing who he was going to fight, so that he.
Once he reached a certain level.
Yeah. But you said at a certain point. I don't know if Tank is at that certain point. Yeah, he's a box office draw, like you said, Big Red. He's number 2 after Canelo, but I don't know. I would like to see real fights.
Yeah, you can't keep fighting these guys. Everybody be like, who? Huh? Oh,
exactly.
Up and
you
coming,
can't. Yeah.
It's time. It's time to step up. You want to be the number 1 guy in boxing, and based on what happened to Canelo in his last fight and what might happen to him in his he fighting Triple G first. But once he finished Triple G and go for that rematch, there's going to be a space for a new king of boxing, I think. And if you don't grab it, there's a young fella that's going to be coming after you real soon, Shakur Stevenson, who will grab it, who ain't scared, who's currently at 130, but will easily go up to 135, ain't scared. So
you think Shakur will fight Tank?
Oh yeah, Shakur ain't scared of nobody.
To be the best, you got to beat the best.
That would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
How would you see that Ryan Garcia fight going?
Ryan Garcia is a very good fighter, but his boxing IQ isn't top notch, and he likes to get into firefights. So I would actually see Garcia get knocked out by Tank just because he get into a firefight and the guns that Tank throwing, they put you to sleep.
Heavy artillery.
If you make a mistake, they put you to sleep.
Speaking of which, if you watch the fight on Saturday, after the 3rd round, what's his name? Romero? Yeah. He started flinching.
Yeah.
And when Tank saw that, after he started flinching, He would fake a punch and hit him the other way. It was just a matter of time before he was going night. Because I mean, he did it a couple times. I was like, yeah, and that's what happened. He started seeing stars.
But I think Devin Haney could beat Tank.
That'd be a good matchup.
Because Devin Haney's a thinker and a boxer. Haney's issue is Haney hasn't shown the punching power to just hurt somebody real bad with one shot. He hurts you over an accumulation of rounds and punches, but that would still be an excellent fight at 135. And like I said, when a young fella move up to 135, all of them got problems.
Hey, is Lopez in that 135? Teofimo, was it?
Everything that I've been reading and hearing from him is Lopez is going to 140.
Okay.
Because he had problems making weight. Remember, he had that medical issue in his last fight when he lost his titles, was trying to make weight. We tore something in his esophagus or something like that. So I don't think he can get down to 135 anymore. So,
okay. All right.
We will see. But again, on the undercard is Ray Lore, the Cuban defector. Again, he fought a bum. That guy looked scared as soon as the bell rang. Should never been in the ring with this dude. It was somewhat disgraceful in my opinions. But Lore has moved up to 160. So it's going to be interesting to see who he fights because there's some killers at 160. Or if he's just going to keep fighting bums and keep his WBA regular title, which really doesn't mean anything. So this weekend, fellas, we got 2 huge cards and then a Tuesday card that's crazy that nobody talking about. So first and foremost, Devin Haney, I mentioned it before, takes on George Kambosos Jr. for the undisputed 135-pound lightweight, all 4 belts on the line, over in Australia. So Haney's going to Kambosos' home country to fight him to try to take his 3 belts and come back undisputed. So whoever wins this is going to be king of 135, even with Tank in there. That's going to be on ESPN. That's going to be at a weird time because it's happening in Australia. I actually think they're going to be fighting early in the morning in Australia to make it like nighttime here. So check your local listings for ESPN. Then on Showtime, Stevie Fulton puts his WBC, WBO junior featherweight titles on the line against Daniel Roman. This is going to be a good fight. 2 young junior featherweights that can box. Stevie Schoolboy Fulton is very nice, but this is going to be his toughest match, I think. So, good stuff. And then on Tuesday, the monster, Inoue, takes on Nonito Donaire in a rematch of a knockdown, drag-out fight that they had about 6-7 years ago. Tuesday morning, they fighting over in somewhere in Asia for 3 of the 4 bantamweight titles. So I told y'all boxing heating up.
So how many rounds you think it's gonna go with Haney and Kambosos?
I think that's a 12-round fight.
So who's the advantage, the old man or the young man?
I say home court. Kambosos.
Because age will play a factor in that.
Haney at 16 was boxing professional in Mexico in bars and all that because he had to wait till he's 18 to get a professional license in the US. So him going to Australia for a title fight ain't gonna be. This dude was boxing in bars and stuff to earn money in Mexico. And you know how that's crazy is. Who's this black American coming down here trying to beat our young guys? So he ain't gonna be scared.
Okay, I mean Mexico and Australia.
And them jokers don't get tired either. They don't get tired when they fight. They just go hard.
So I think that's gonna be an interesting fight. Haney has the better tactics and tools. Kambosos does have a little power. He's not a knockout artist, but he has a little power. I think it's gonna be a great fight.
Oh, yeah.
little pup before we get out of here. Man, them Carolina Hurricanes folded like a bad cheap suit.
Like a cheap suit.
Cheap tents, freshly folded laundry, whatever Kendrick be saying. But yeah, they did exactly that.
3-2. These Bamas lose game 6, 5-2, then lose game 7 at home, 6-2 to the Rangers. So now the Rangers with home ice advantage take on two-time defending champions Tampa Bay Lightning. I think the Rangers had a good run, but I think it's time for them to go home because these Lightning trying to three-peat, and they didn't had a week off to rest. Going to be interesting. Over on the Western Conference, Colorado Avalanche beat the St. Louis Blues 4-2. They look strong. McKinnon, their star, has been doing it up big in their series. And then the Edmonton Oilers with possibly the best player in hockey now, Mr. McDavid, they took out the Calgary Flames 4-1. So the Western Conference series starts tonight, 8 p.m. That's on TNT. The Eastern Conference with Tampa Bay and the Rangers start tomorrow on ESPN. So for you puck heads, enjoy. You should have two good series. And last, before we get into to basketball, we got to talk real quick about San Francisco Giants manager Gabe Kapler and his decision to no longer stand for the national anthem before the games. And he based his decision on the recent shootings in Buffalo at the grocery store and the Texas elementary school shooting. And his reasoning behind it was our country is getting worse and the people in charge aren't doing anything. And he basically said, we're the only nation in the world where we're having mass school shootings often and nobody's doing anything about it. So he said he can't stand in good conscience for the anthem, knowing that we can do better. But he did make one exception yesterday for Memorial Day. So he said he didn't want to disrespect the fallen soldiers. But what do you guys think about, not only his stance, but, you haven't heard much about this compared to what happened a few years ago when all hell broke loose.
Yeah, and that's when I first learned of the Kaplan's decision to not stand. I was very curious about how that was going to play out as far as the firestorm that happened in the NFL when Kaepernick and then a few others decided to sit down. I was wondering if they were going to just we know all the dirt and just nastiness that came with that. And I was wondering if yesterday was sort of kind of which I'm glad he did that. Memorial Day isn't just about is not about barbecues and road trips. It's really actually commemorating our fallen soldiers. So I'm glad he made that decision, but I was wondering if he did that on his own or if someone was in his ear saying, hey, we respect your decision to sit the national anthems out, but maybe this isn't the day or the time or place to do so. So I'm curious if it was genuine on his behalf or and if it was, hats off to him. But if it wasn't, it is what it is. I just don't understand. I just don't know what type of protest, what really could be accomplished. Like I admire him wanting to do something, but I don't know what, like Steve Kerr, going off in his press conference, Kaplan deciding that, I'm not going to stand for the anthem because of what it represents. I just don't know if people really take sports figures serious as far as affecting real change when it comes to or these mass shootings. So
I guess they're not looking, to do it all themselves. I guess they're just looking to be the catalyst that'll spark more people to, speak out about this and to say, look, enough's enough. We need reform. I credit him for doing that. I credit him for, taking that stand. I credit Steve Kerr for taking that stand as well. The only, I guess, bittersweet part about it is, another person a few years ago when Kaepernick took a stand, and a lot of hubbub was made about him doing that, which eventually cost him, a shot back at the NFL. And I don't think Kaepernick's going to get that same backlash as Kaepernick, and Kaepernick shouldn't have got the backlash because he was protesting police brutality. A certain president who will remain nameless decided to change that narrative and make it about the military when it wasn't. And,
All right, resident military man, give us your thought.
Yeah, so I'm a little conflicted only because of the fact that if this dude was really serious about protesting the flag, he wouldn't have did it for Memorial Day, right? Because you can do a silent protest and still be down for the cause. So for him to do it yesterday, for me that really, he really doesn't get my support. Although we all have our opinions and we all have our own thoughts about what we think is important and what's not important. Me personally, I'm conflicted as well because I am a veteran, and to be honest with you, I can't stand the flag because of the fact that we don't do what we're supposed to, not only for our soldiers but for our own country. So I get it, I truly get it, but yeah, you ain't get no kudo points for me because you did it yesterday.
And I just don't think that these protests, I just don't think these protests, these forms of protests are really going to do anything because, when 20 some odd babies were killed, in Sandy Hook, everyone mourned for a few days, not including the parents and the people that were personally affected by that. And we moved on and everything remained, mass shootings continued, various acts of violence continued. So I just don't know that unless, like I said, I admire somebody wanting to do something, but I just don't know if that's necessarily the form or the way to go about it.
The way to affect change is the people who either refuse to even bring reasonable gun legislation to the floor for vote or are totally against it, vote them out of office. That's the only way you're going to get it changed.
But that's the problem.
We ain't going to get into politics.
That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah, that's the problem because when it comes to votes, it comes to money. And we all know who got the votes and who got the money.
Yeah, so.
And the NRA is one of the biggest cash cows and lobbyists. So.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right, let's go ahead before we get too deep and get off track. Let's talk about this NBA, fellas.
Ooh-wee.
I'm gonna start with the more interesting series, Eastern Conference. Boston Celtics, Miami Heat, 4-3. It wasn't always pretty, but the young fellas got it done. The young fellas with one old head got to give my man Al Horford his props.
I don't know how he's still in the league.
Old head Al Horford.
Hey, about doing what he's doing.
Going to the Celtics, he's rejuvenated himself. He got his energy back.
Yeah. Because
he was bouncing around for 2 years after he left the Celtics, not really playing much. So he got less wear and tear on his body. Oh, Al out there doing things. He D'ing up 20-something-year-olds. So shout out to the Celtics. But yeah, they had to hold on to that in Game 7, bro. I mean, Jimmy Butler was that close to.
I was about to say,
talk about
man.
that. Yeah, let's talk about
Jimmy,
that.
Man.
In my opinion, Jimmy should not have gone down and shot that three. Yo, you was only down 3 points. Take it to the hole. You know you was gonna get fouled. Shoot a free throw and you tied up. And there was still what 11 seconds left in the game when he took that shot. Yeah. So even if he'd have made it, Boston still would have got the ball.
So would he be criticized for not taking the shot, or is he going to be more criticized for taking the shot and missing?
It's probably going to be both. to be honest with you. But I'm just saying, me, Joseph, J3, I would have taken it to the hole because you know you're gonna get fouled, you're gonna get a free throw, and you tied up. And now you gotta play some defense. Now you missed the whole shot. They take it down court and score, and then you ain't even close no more. And you came up with nothing.
He could have made a better decision about it. I just think in that particular moment, he was just like, he had the open look. So
again, he had the lane. Yeah, the lane was wide open.
It was
wide open. So why are you gonna stop at the 3-point line and try to tie it up? And again, there was still time left on the clock.
You know why he stopped? That dude was tired.
So he's doing it all by himself.
That dude been carrying Miami on his back.
Yes. See, and
he played every minute of that game.
And that's the real problem. Kyle Lowry, 7 for 7 games. I don't even know. Oh my goodness. I don't even know if he played. So you
like
got
Mike Lowry.
So you Mike Lowry. So anyway, you got Kyle Lowry doing nothing for a whole series. You got Bam showing up 2 games, game 7 and I believe game 5 maybe.
Yeah,
he showed up. I think it was game 7 and 5. But anyway, he only showed up 2 games. So Jimmy Butler, even if I think Hero may have been a little injured, right?
He had just returned. Yeah, he had just returned for that. Yeah.
But even still, so Jimmy Butler, I can't criticize him for taking that shot, even if it was a bad shot, J3, even if it was a bad shot, because at the end of the day, who else could you trust?
Yeah,
take it.
I got you.
Take it to the whole game.
You
Why are you gonna wait till the last second and try to shoot a 3? The whole game, Ed. I'm telling you, he was in the lane. He was in the paint.
Because he didn't want to go to overtime. All that would have did was sit there. Best case scenario, sit to overtime.
Right.
He was like, I'm tired.
Again, even if he had made that shot, there was still time left on the clock. That's all I'm saying.
Ed, to your point, talking about the no-shows, Duncan Robinson, what happened to him? Like,
you talking about a bad contract? He just got 5 years, $90 million, and you can't even play him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a bad contract. So,
but the NBA is littered with bad contracts.
Yeah.
And then I think Oladipo, this was his last year. He's going to be a free agent, right?
Yeah. But how much mark is Oladipo going to have? Because he always hurt.
That's it. That's his problem. That's his problem.
The Heat need a wingman that's reliable to be down there with Jimmy Butler, and they might have a legitimate shot to come out of the East if they get a wingman and make Bam the number 3 and not the number 2.
Yeah. Well, wasn't Kyle Lowry supposed to be the number 2?
He was
trash.
Yeah. Trash. That dude was flopping so much.
Oh my goodness. Give him an Academy Award, will you? Please give him an Academy Award. My goodness.
But let's give these Celtics some props.
That's true.
Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, while they did have some messy turnovers, they stepped up, they did their thing.
That man Robin.
Marcus Smart did his job. And they did their thing. And shout out to rookie head coach Ime Udoka, who came in with 2 established stars, not superstars, but 2 established stars, and got to the right 2 people who could get to the 2 stars to bend them to his way and have them start playing defense. Because without that, that could have been ugly. And we saw it was ugly in the beginning. But to go through that stage and end up in the NBA Finals, that's a hell of a job for a first-year coach.
And you had mentioned Al Horford, and let me just say real quick, age really doesn't matter when you have that drive to win. A prime example is look how long my man Vince Carter played. He was damn near 40 before he stopped.
He was over 40.
So even
and this is Al's first NBA Finals.
Even though I despise the Boston Celtics. And this goes back to when I was a Magic Johnson fan and Larry Bird was on the other side. So this goes back a long way. But I have to give their organization credit because they knew it was difficult to put your ego aside or even step aside and let someone do it when you know you're incapable of doing it. Ainge realized that his time was numbered. Health failing. He's nothing really else to prove in the NBA. He moves away. Stevens gets elevated to his old job. Stevens, we can all admit, rightfully so, that he probably underachieved on the NBA level.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably realized, okay, well, maybe I can't necessarily maybe I'm not the tactician necessary or have the personality necessary to get through to today's NBA, but I can pick talent. You know, maybe I can assemble talent better than. So he moves on to the front office, and then he hires the brother and puts him in place because he knows that he has what it takes. And so we see the manifestation of what, you know, of all that with the NBA Finals return for the Boston Celtics since the Big Three. So, yeah.
Shout out.
Good stuff.
Now, on the Western Conference side, it was just a matter of time. And I think if it wasn't for the shooting episode in Texas, Dallas may have gotten swept. Because as y'all mentioned earlier, Steve Kerr went off pregame about the shootings. His mind was not on that basketball game. Steph Curry made a statement before the game about, you know, I'm a parent, you can't send your kids to school. So they weren't even thinking about the game, much less trying to close out a team. And that's the hardest thing to do in sports when you're in this multiple game series, is close a team out. So they gave Dallas a game. Gentlemen's sweep. Move them on.
I will say this though, in Dallas's defense, Brunson balling, Doncic balling. Anybody else? And there you have it. Every now and then you see Finney Smith step up, but yeah,
Dinwiddie periodically stepped up, but not when it counted.
But I'm looking at this Golden State team, fellas, and since I know you got your team out west, but as long as Golden State stays relatively healthy the next couple years,
it's a dynasty.
I think it's going to start. They might just start on a roll like they were a few years ago because they got Kuminga. They got Poole. They got that boy Mooney. They got depth behind.
We didn't talk about the center ain't played in 2 years.
Wiseman. They got depth behind the current superstars that, and the way Kerr plays, everybody always has and always, you know, he goes into his bench. He don't pay 3, 7 or 8. He goes down to 10, 12, whatever. But I just don't see anybody matching up with Golden State long term, as far as unless they have some significant injuries again, because that depth play, don't forget. See, they didn't just ride their horses. Them boys played. So I just
imagine if Peyton would have been healthy.
He's supposed to be back for the finals.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's just another piece. And when I thought Otto Porter retired. I thought he retired.
No, sir.
All right, so normally I'll fight with you tooth and nail on this, Ed, but I'm not. I gotta concede. I mean, I'm not gonna say I ain't gonna be like Stephen A. Smith and be like, you know, Steph Curry's gonna win the next 2 out of 3 championships. It's gonna surpass LeBron as the, you know, best with 5. I'm not going that far, but they are going to be something like a dynasty. I ain't going to lie. I mean, unless you said, as you said, health plays a part or Boston gets lucky. Because one thing we have not said, like, I mean, this is a good matchup. I know we're going to touch on it in a minute, but Boston is presenting a defense unlike, you know, what Golden State has seen. So,
true. But you're saying it might be something like a dynasty. Do y'all realize this is the 6th final in 8 years?
Oh, well, yeah, that's a dynasty.
And if you take out the 2 years Klay was hurt, this will be Klay Thompson's 6th straight finals appearance. So the 2 years he didn't play, they didn't make the finals.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
Yep.
6 and 8. And like you said, they loaded to keep doing it.
Major impact.
Damn Steph Curry. 3-point shot.
But even Steph Curry, look at what's his name, Jordan Poole. He come in shooting just like Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Toscano still on the bench.
Babies.
You got Lee, Steph's.
Oh yeah, Damian Lee.
brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, the only thing is, and Stephen A was like they're all locked in. Is that like in fact true, or is it like some contracts coming?
The only person that might have a contract situation this coming season is Kevon Looney.
Who stepped up in the playoffs too.
Yes, he's been playing. He's finally getting healthy from his hip surgery, and he stepped up. So he's earned himself some money. So that's going to be the thing. And it's not that they wouldn't want to pay him, but they're already in the super luxury tax. So every dollar they pay, like a Kevon Looney, would be like triple in tax money.
Yeah, but he's worth it. He proved himself this playoffs. He has truly proved himself.
Championships are expensive.
But I wouldn't be concerned if I was Golden State, because again, you got Weissman sitting in the background, maturing, and Kuminga's 19.
Yes,
19.
That's
can jump out the
19.
Crazy.
Mooney's 19.
How
Both
did they
teenagers?
Oh yeah, Moses Moody. Yep.
Yeah, scary. All right, so let's talk about this finals matchup. It basically comes down to the old heads that got an infusion of youth with them versus the young team that's got a couple of old heads all trying to win their first title. Because nobody on the Celtics has won a title. While you got the core of the Warriors that have won 3, and like I just said, have been in 6 of the last 8 NBA finals.
I can't
Warriors
imagine.
in 5.
I can't imagine. I'll go with you, J3. I can't.
Warriors in 5.
I'm not an NBA insider, but I just can't see. I don't see the weak link.
I mean, I'm gonna say Warriors only because I'm a Lakers fan and I don't like the Celtics. So yeah, Warriors.
Don't sound so excited, buddy.
It's gonna be boring because it's gonna be like Warriors like winning championship year after year after year. Nobody wants to see that.
But that's what you want, man. You want a team that has a dynasty, and they get it.
NBA has always been about dynasties.
Yeah,
right.
Your team, the Lakers, the Celtics,
Yep.
The Bulls. It's always been about a dynasty. Basically, LeBron was his own dynasty. Where they went to the championships, and then Golden State took over from LeBron. So that's what it's about. I think I like Golden State in 6. I'm with BJ. I think that the Celtics defense has been the best in the league since they got them young boys to make a decision and play defense. They've been the best in the playoffs. My concern for the Celtics is how much did that Miami Heat bump and grind take out of them? And Robert Williams is injured. He's not just hurt playing. He's injured. I don't know if y'all watched him, the center. He was literally dragging his leg up and down the court. And every time he jumped, you could see he was in extensive pain. He was a difference maker, which may have been able to give the Celtics a chance to beat Golden State. But with him injured, I think that it's going to put too much pressure on the old fella to have to be their man in the middle, and Grant Williams, who's an undersized power forward, to deal with that. That's going to allow Golden State to play the way they want to, small, because you ain't going to have no big guy. So
I just think that Golden State has the wings that can contend with Brown and Tatum. You got Wiggins on the wing, and I'm not even including Clay.
Yeah, we didn't even
talk about Wiggins. Good Lord.
You got Wiggins on a wing. You could throw him on Tatum and help. Then you got Brown. You could put Kuminga, because Kuminga, he's only 6'7", 6'8".
Kuminga and Moody. You bring them off the bench. You got 12 fouls for them young fellas. Run around with them guys, beat on them.
Strength and darn numbers.
And then you got that. And then without the big boy, you say Williams. Draymond. He's still a pest. They championship battle tested. They've been in the war, so they know what to expect. And then you got the sharpshooters. You got Clay and Steph. I just don't see y'all. I don't see it. 5 J3.
It's amazing you mentioned. Hold on, Sense. It's amazing that you mentioned Wiggins, right? Which we didn't talk about. But if you think about it, if Wiggins would have been there the year that Landry was there, they'd have won another championship because Landry didn't show up at all when they were in the finals. If Wiggins was there, that would have been 4. Easy.
Yeah, Wiggins has proved valuable and has found his home where being the overall number one pick was kind of a weight on his shoulders, coming from Canada and all that. Trying to make up for the other Canadian that went number 1, Bennett. That he had trying to carry an organization that was poorly run at the time. He could just play basketball. He ain't got to be the star. He don't want to be the star. He's like, I'm happy being number 4. But if y'all put somebody on me that can't check me, I'm going to abuse them.
So let me ask this, just to stay on topic but go a little off it because this topic was brought up. Like, how sick do you think KD and Kyrie are right now watching their former teams in the finals?
Well, KD on Letterman smoking herb, so I don't know if he really worried about
had KD, but see, I think Draymond got in KD's head saying we won championships without you, bro. We don't need you.
But he told the truth.
He was telling the truth.
I don't understand why he got so offended by it. Look, if someone tells me the truth, this is the type of person I am. If someone tells me the truth, even if I don't like it, if it's the truth and I know it to be true, well, it's the truth. Yeah, well, okay. So he didn't say anything offensive to KD. He told him the truth. Now KD a little sensitive. It seems like I don't know if he is, but it seems like you got to be careful what you say or how you say things to KD. That's just my opinion. But it just seems like it don't take much for him to, get in his feelings, so to speak.
Yeah. And no, that had been going on all season. And Draymond finally had enough because Draymond was worried about the team. And KD was being, if you read the backstory, that whole season, KD was being standoffish, not really interacting with the team. Because I think KD had made up his mind that he was going to leave, but didn't want to say it and deal with the repercussions of saying it. So Draymond was like, look, dude, you either got to be in or out. We don't need you. We want you. We came to get you. But if you're not going to be in, we don't need you. We're going to win with you or without you.
There you go.
And there it is.
There you go.
And there it is.
You choose. Just make a decision. That's all we need. And they're proving, hey, we're going to keep doing it. So shout out. So everybody's picking the Warriors. I wonder what Professor thinks about that. If he can see the Celtics, maybe. But if Golden State shows up every game wanting to play,
that would be a sweep.
And the scary part about it is, I think they're hungry because they had to go through those 2 years of people talking about they were done, all the injuries and all that. So, yeah. Warriors, come out and play.
Yeah.
Final start NBA Thursday.
Let's go.
They'll be on ABC, so we look forward to it. All right, fellas, it's time for us to get up out of here. It is time for us to get our final post in. J3, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, so real quick, the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I just want to challenge everybody. Get up and do something for at least 30 minutes a day. That'll extend your life by 1 day. So that's my challenge, and that's it.
Good stuff. Sense.
I just want to give a shout out to all the grads graduated this month. Go on out to great things in this world. Definitely need you.
Yeah, absolutely. Big Ed.
Cleveland Browns.
What about it?
You made your bed. You're gonna have to lay in it. It was just announced that lawsuit number 23 is on the horizon for Mr. Watson. So we hope that turns out well for all those involved, not only him but also the accusers. So be careful what you ask for. That's all I have.
They still got Baker. They all right.
They got
They still got Baker. They all right.
Poor Baker.
For my final post, I like to put out there the fellas of Post are going to be involved in the Bay Bridge Run /walk.
Yeah, walk. Yeah.
And we will be walking because them days of running for these knees are done. So this November 13th is the annual Bay Bridge Run. It's the one time a year where people can actually walk across the Bay Bridge. It's a big event. It's early in the morning. They start people crossing from like 7 o'clock and 8:30. Got to be done by 11 o'clock, so you get 2.5 hours to get across the bridge. We're looking for people to come join the Post crew. If you're interested in joining, it is a charitable event. There is a registration fee. You can look up the baybridgerun.com, www.thebaybridgerun.com. If you look it up, if you're interested, check it out. If you want to do it, please contact us because we're going to put together a group. And if we get a group of 15 or more, we actually get a discount on the registration. So let us know. November 13th, Bay Bridge Walk Run. Come join Post. Good time. We'll be out there all morning, early afternoon. After you get finished the walk, there's a big party area where they have refreshments. They give you fruit, drinks, some food and all that. So looking forward to seeing y'all out there. And that's it. All right, folks, we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in and listening. We appreciate your time and opportunity to share our positions on sports with you. We're here each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. for our live show. You can also download our shows on our Facebook and YouTube page, Positions on Sports Talk Show. If for some reason you can't catch the live show, you don't want to do the social media, you prefer a podcast format, just go to your favorite podcast format, Apple, whatever you use, put in Positional Sports Talk Show. We upload all the shows, so you'll be able to keep up with us. Okay, BJ, that'd be so cool. Appreciate that, my brother. So, yeah, check us out. We'd love to hear from you. If you decide to check one of the sites, please like and join. Membership's free. We greatly appreciate it. As always, y'all got to stay safe out there. We'll see you next week, 7 p.m., same bat time, same bat channel. Stay safe out there.
Thank you.
See ya.